Welcome to the podcast. I'm Jim Cummings. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to spend some time getting to know my fellow business coach and friend, Carley Schelck. Stick around to the end because I'm going to get Carley to do the Cummings Questionnaire. Apologies to Stephen Colbert. Carley has no idea what the questions are going to be. It should be fun. Carley Schelck is president and CEO of Urban Element, a local hospitality and catering company she founded with her husband Oliver over 20 years ago. She's also a professor in the School of Business at Algonquin College, an author, and of course, a business coach with Inside Track Business Coaching. She's also a busy mom with an active social life. Welcome, Carley.
Thank you, Jim. So great to be here.
Yeah, so I just want to, get a feel for um, what your perspective of being a business coach is, because I know what I do and what you do are going to be two different things. Like we're two different business people. We have different approaches to our clients. And I just thought it'd be interesting to have a conversation about that. So just to start off, I mean, when you and I met, we've been doing this for a couple of years now, but when you and I met, you just kind of tossed out that you'd like to be a business coach at some point, and that's what started this little adventure that we're on. So what drew you to coaching?
Good question. I think two things. Well, let's go back to that moment where I invited you into the classroom to talk to my students.
Right.
And I found myself listening to just how much joy and pleasure and curiosity you had when you were describing what it is to be a business coach. And that really sparked my own curiosity. And so the mentorship aspect, absolutely as an extension, very similar to teaching, was appealing to me. So I started teaching 10 years ago. And it wasn't really anything that was on my radar, but when I had an opportunity and I stepped into it, and now I just can't imagine my life without that piece. So I think the business coaching aspect was just a natural succession of that because it combines two of my passions. So it's helping others and also really like finding solutions and supporting people in business.
Yeah, there's also the aspect, I guess, of working one-on-one with somebody under an NDA. You can really dive in and get to know the person in their company in a way that you can't do from a teaching point of view in a classroom where it's kind of group study, right? So that's
Yes.
interesting. Tell me, what's your main goal in coaching? Like, when you're working with a usually young entrepreneur, what do you hope to accomplish? Like, what is it about growth? Is it about profits? Is it about work-life balance? I
Right.
mean,
So as we know, Jim, like coaching is on their agenda, right? So when I find when people reach out or when they come to that point where they consider coaching as a component that can help them clarify, let's say, some problems, maybe some opportunities, maybe work through something that they feel like they can't get support elsewhere. So my main goal really is working with that business person, young entrepreneur, maybe established business professional to clarify some challenges or opportunities or help get them to that next level if they're feeling stuck. Because most people reach out when they feel they maybe don't have a place to turn. And I can speak just in the realm of business ownership and entrepreneurship, it can be a lonely place. And sometimes you just find yourself circling around the same issues in your mind. And it's really healthy to be able to have an opportunity, a confidant, a coach that can support you and listen and just have a place where those feelings can land or those opportunities to work through.
yeah, your point about it's lonely at the top. I hear this often from clients that, in new clients, is that, man, I can't, I have to bear all these problems and this stress by myself because I can't, bring it home. I put, too much stress on my partner. I can't, talk to my employees about it because that's just inappropriate. And half the time or more, the problem is them anyway. And, that's just, that doesn't work. I can't talk to my friends because they don't know. And again, it's unprofessional. So having a coach gives you this venue to basically vent
Mhm.
and say stuff that you don't get to say to anyone else. And half the time it's just hearing yourself say it.
Yes.
Getting it off your chest it has value in itself, right? So yeah, all right, that's great. Okay, so tell me, what often I get asked, so I'm going to ask you, what types of clients do you work with? Is there a specific industry you specialize in? Like, would you stick just to restauranting, or, is it some other criteria that you have, or is it broader than that?
It can be broader. My sort of passion or my sweet spot will always be entrepreneurship because I thrive in that business environment and that's the environment I closely identify with. So I am naturally drawn to other entrepreneurs because I feel like the relatable conversations, the understanding from the perspective comes from that sort of mentality or that drive. So I think first and foremost, entrepreneurs really are my sort of sweet spot, if you say. Secondly, I am huge into women in leadership. I always love to see we need to have more women in business. I will always advocate for that. So, secondly, women entrepreneurs are, high on my list of people I love to work with. But really, I don't discriminate in terms of the types of clients. People that just generally are looking to develop themselves personally or professionally and really have that growth mentality. That's who I identify with. They really want to grow because whether they're feeling stuck, if it's profits, if it's growth, if it's scale, or they want to grow and learn because of maybe there's some interpersonal challenges happening in the workplace, or they are stuck with, communications with teams. So whatever the theme might be, or that sort of that catalyst it is for them to feel like they need more support. I'm really happy to help them sort of achieve again their agenda. This is coaching, right? This is not us providing a transcript or a outlined consulting plan. This is a forum for dialogue, exchange, and revelations on the client's terms. The epiphanies is sort of what I call them as well. It's the aha moment. Oh, I understand now because they reflect back and those that do well in coaching really hear themselves when they're saying it. And yeah.
So I think you touched on my next question, which is, do you feel that women are drawn to you because they feel more comfortable having a female coach?
Possibly, yes. I think that especially I will say there's a very small niche that I hear a lot from with women is women entrepreneurs who are also raising families, are particularly, I would say, um, you know, vulnerable in the mindset that they feel the pressures to be all, to be whether they're running a business, they are the main supporter or a large part of the home life, and whether they are physically or not, there's a mentality to be that caregiver, that support person in that family structure. So a lot of times I hear from women to say, I just can't do it all, or how do you manage it all? So it's really, my perspective comes from, dissecting that and, really relating to women in that same position. So I would say that is a niche I can absolutely support just from my own personal experience of business ownership and being a mother and also wanting to prioritize my own personal growth pursuits within that and have a life too, an enjoyable life.
Right, right. So, since you're an owner yourself, uh, a principal, do you work exclusively with other business owners, or would you consider taking on a senior executive?
Oh, I would consider taking on a senior executive. I think that entrepreneurs are drawn to what they know about me and maybe have seen or heard, or we've had a conversation, we've met somewhere. I think entrepreneurs are drawn to perhaps what I have to offer for them or that relatable space. But again, no, I'm very open to working with those that senior executives who also face, very similar business challenges within the workplace or a team organization. People, as we know, is probably one of the number one topics that comes up.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Yes.
Right. So, okay, this next question is, from your point of view, what's your greatest skill as a business coach?
My greatest skill, I believe, is to allow someone to feel fully heard and seen. And for me, it's bringing me- empathy with the experience to the table. I have a great ability to empathize with people, to feel, have very, emotionally connected relationships where I feel very strongly about core values in organizations and can identify, I believe, and relate on that level, balanced with a business sense and practicality of that. So I think my biggest skill is the relatability concept of our discussions and dialogues. But again, providing space for people to just drop in. I've often heard it. A lot of people will say to me, I find it really easy to talk to you. I find it really easily that I can just drop my exterior and be myself.
Why,
And
why, why do you think that is?
good question, Jim. I might turn that on you and say, do you feel comfortable dropping in with me? And
See,
where and how do I make you feel?
that's a beautiful business coach move. Turn it around and ask the question. That's good for you. Yeah, I think that you know, there are times as a coach, what I was going to kind of lead you to, I thought, was it's not all good news, obviously. And, a good coach has to know when it's time to metaphorically give someone a good shake and say, snap out of it.
Mhm,
Suck it up. This
mhm,
is tough. I know you're
mhm,
going to get through this,
mhm.
but you've got to deal with this. You have to face it. You don't want to, but you have to. It's your job. And as a coach, it's our job to sometimes have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the go mode for sure. But I temper it with a healthy dose of empathy. And that doesn't mean I'm going to tell someone what they want to hear at all.
No, no, no.
But
It's almost coming from a place of love. Like I, all good relationships are built on trust and respect. And of course, we're going to have that for our clients, right? So we respect them to the moon and back. And so that's why when we sometimes have to give them a bit of a whack and say, "Come on, you can do this." Um, that's it's doing it from a place of caring.
yes,
Yeah.
that's where I operate from. Absolutely.
So tell me something. This is the last question, and then we'll move on to the Cummings questionnaire as he rubs his palms. All right. What's the most common issue you deal with clients?
Hmm. Couple things, two things come up for me. One is accountability. Accountability, people really, they have a lot on their plate. They maybe know what they need to do, or they don't know. They don't know where to start, especially if they're coming they're starting a business, they have a lot to do and they need to get their thoughts organized and there's time management. So I'd say accountability and time management are definitely a big theme that I see in entrepreneurs a lot. And then the second thing is people. Now they probably tie for both because it's people and it's communications within that. And I'm seeing a lot more too. And something I love to talk about is the emotional intelligence aspect, like the self-awareness when you're running a business and whether you are the owner principal or you're the executive. It's the emotional intelligence aspect of interpersonal relationships and communications and dealing with others. Um,
So that's interesting. Candice and I actually did a podcast recently on emotional intelligence. She's a little bit of a specialist in emotional intelligence. So if anyone's interested, go check out that podcast. You can get it wherever you get your good podcasts or on my website, insidetrackcoaching.com. So sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you with a plug, but it just, you mentioned emotional intelligence.
That's a perfect segue. No, absolutely. And it is, again, I think a lot of people tune into this and whether they've heard that term or they really want to dive deeper into that to understand what that means, there's always an opportunity for growth within that aspect. So I love delving into that. But people, accountability slash time management are quite often themes that and then of course the business goals too of growth. I'm maybe I'm stagnant and how do I get to the next level? And we talk about scalability or but those are the people and the progress where I say like how are you moving your business forward or I need help in moving my business forward or what's next or even even more importantly it's like how do I know when to succession plan and how do I know when it's time for me to move on because a lot of themes are staying stuck. So there's some revelation working with clients in that is understanding that maybe some of the things that you're feeling are because there's a bigger theme at play here, right? So we get to uncover those themes. But human behavior, I love it, and it's a huge part of coaching, right?
Right. So if I were to answer that question, that would be number one for sure. When I was first starting out in business, if somebody had said to me, "What is going to occupy most of your time as a business owner?" I probably would have said, "Oh, I don't know, customers, I don't know, lawyers, landlords, marketing. I don't know." It never would have occurred to me that my number one job would be managing the people, my reports. And by far and away, that's the number one issue that all of my clients have to deal with. My friend Mike says people are very people-y.
Yes. I've used that, Jim. I use that now because that stuck with me too. I love that. People know exactly what I mean when I say that. They're like, "Oh, that's good." So it's getting some traction out there.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, okay. Anything else you'd like to add before I foist the Cummings questionnaire upon you?
No, no, I'm shaking over here though. I'm really wondering what I signed up for with
So just to be clear now, you have not heard these questions before, correct?
no, no. And it's good that this is just audio because maybe you're going to embarrass me and then I'll turn a shade of beet red.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's
Okay.
anything embarrassing, but the questionnaire is really designed to reveal the true nature of a person, right? Like it's a whole bunch of varied questions, off the wall questions and you got to just shoot from the
Okay.
hip and give an answer, right? And most of them are A, B choices, like,
Okay.
right? So let's just have some fun with it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, first question. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Ooh, without any hesitation.
Yes.
I'm with you on that one. Uh, okay, what's your favorite car you've ever owned or your family has owned?
Oh, whoa. I'm not a car person. That's
I
answer
know, but
C. That's
you must
answer
you must
C. Answer C. Oh my gosh. Well, listen, all my friends from high school, they would know me as I was driving a Fiero. Do you know what the Fiero looks
Yes, what
like?
a great car.
Yeah,
I fell
yeah.
in love with the Fiero in the 80s.
I had a white Fiero. The engine was in the back. It's
Yeah.
such a strange little, but it was a beast and it got me all over the high school years, took me to university up and down the highway until it blew. And I think
Yeah.
my dad even said, we're going to get this. I think the Fiero Club of Canada came knocking on his door to try to get that model in because they had been recalled for years and he kept it. So
They
anyways, that's my legacy car.
Oh, they were much maligned, but the minute I heard Pontiac was making a mid-engine car, I was in my 20s. I just went, "Oh, so cool."
Yeah.
Anyway, what a great car. Okay, favorite smell.
Coffee?
Whoa, no kidding. You're kind of
Probably.
in the business. Yeah, you know a thing or two about coffee, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. Least favorite smell.
Oh, like anything burning, like burnt, it's anything burning, like garlic burning, that
Because
just,
it means something bad is happening, right?
yeah, it's like, it means your time management in the kitchen's gone wrong.
Okay,
Been
good.
distracted. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. All right, what actor or actress, alive or dead, would you most like to have supper with?
Oh, this is not easy. Oh my gosh. Uh, Jim, you've stumped me.
It
This is
can be anybody, and it doesn't matter.
my
So,
realm. Oh my goodness. You know what? I will say, actor or actress. You know who I always get a liken to is Gillian Anderson, right, from the X-Files.
oh
And
yeah.
I have followed her life, all her plots. She's become an author and she's done some really thought-provoking. I really enjoy her. So I would say sure. I think she would be really interesting at the dinner table. Yeah.
Oh, good answer. My wife Lisa has recently reached out to a novelist that she admired, didn't think that she would get a response, and she did. She got a lovely postcard with a very personal and nice response. So maybe that's something you could consider. Reach out to Gillian Anderson.
You never know. We might have Jillian on our next podcast
Yeah.
then.
Oh, okay. There's a challenge. That would be awesome. All right. Next question. How do you feel about marshmallow bananas?
Not good. Not good. No.
I put
I'm not
that
even
question.
sure what those are. Are those
Well,
those little squishy?
yeah, you get them in a bag and the
Yeah,
bulk burn and they come in
yeah.
all different
Oh,
flavors of it. Oh, I put that question in there because I hate them with a passion.
I don't even think that one of those has entered my palate ever, but I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
so no, that's a no.
Lots of people love them though.
Oh,
They sell
interesting.
well. Okay, cottage or pool?
Cottage.
Oh
Cottage.
yeah,
Oh, yes. Yeah. Love me a lake.
yeah.
Yes.
No hesitation. What is the best character trait you like in others?
Um, Trust.
So
In
integrity,
integrity. Yes. Yes.
right? Isn't
Yeah.
that interesting? Because that was my answer.
Oh, that's great.
Is Yeah, that's the thing I value most.
Yes. Yep.
That's really cool. And sadly, it's not there with everyone.
No.
They
No.
Some people take the easy route, which is not the right route. What's the most used app on your phone?
Oh, this is funny. Probably like the weather app because so much of my life, well, with the event management business, we run in the seasonal times outdoors. We're always worried and stressed about the weather. It's such a boring response, but it's true. It's practical. So that gets a lot of usage. And I'm a baseball mom. So I always want to know if I'm how to prepare to be on the bleachers because that's a big part of my summer life.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, jazz or classical?
Jazz. Well, jazz, one like that's my yes, jazz 100%. Yeah, jazz. But I do there was a period of time when I lived alone that the only station that where I lived in this very small town, it was just radio and I tuned in and I listened to classical for like 3 months there and I have to say it was really lovely. So I have a great appreciation for it, but jazz, 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 jazz.
So that question kills me because, as you know, I'm a jazz piano player
Yes.
and I studied classical music. I have a degree in classical music. And so choosing between those two would be like choosing between my children.
Oh,
But if I had to choose, one thing for the rest of my life, I think it would be classical.
you're a fundamentalist there, your foundation.
It just soothes my soul in a way that no other music can and challenges my intellect. But that doesn't mean that I love jazz any less.
I
Anyway,
love jazz because of the improvisation, because that's how I approach cooking. It's
mm,
improvisation and I
creativity.
love iterations.
Right,
So yeah, you
right,
can you can play. Yeah.
right. What's the best holiday you've ever had?
It's hard to deny our trips to Italy. We've been there a couple times now, a few, 3 times, and I'm just in heaven with the food, the vistas, everything. So that's probably my heart favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lisa and I did a trip to Italy a while ago, and boy, oh boy, I hear you about the food. I just couldn't get enough of it. It was so, so good. Speaking of food, how do you like your eggs?
Poached, soft. Yep,
And
that's it.
that's not easy to do, is it?
No, 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 not at all. It's not. But you know, I still can't make a really perfectly poached, but it's okay. It doesn't have to look. I mean, I'm not working in a restaurant. I'm not producing for but my home poached eggs look, like I said, experimental or iterative, let's just say, but they
Yeah,
taste good. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Are socks okay with sandals?
I don't wear socks with sandals. If you asked my 15-year-old this question, he would without hesitation say yes.
Right. So
And
this,
in high school, I remember um, those heavy wool socks with Birkenstocks. So I think it's a period of time that I would say yes. But no, now where I am, no, I do not wear socks with sandals.
so
No.
Lisa tells me that it's just a practical thing for me wearing socks with sandals. I don't because I get so much blowback from my family. Lisa says you're not allowed to wear socks with sandals unless you're less than 15 years old. Okay. Um, Here's a good one. What do you think happens when we die?
Whoa. Um, well, what I would like to think is that we live on in another space and time and entity with our souls. Now, I'm flipping this back. Are you talking about our physical sense or what is?
It's
Well,
entirely up to you how you interpret that question.
I go back to my initial response. I would like to believe that our souls live on in another space and time.
Well, that's a very nice thought, and a lot of people would agree with you. So, all right. All right, final question. It's not a question, it's basically an instruction.
Hmm.
Describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
Wow. Okay. Fun is number one. That's one. Fun. Um, oh, Jim, this one's tough. Okay, fun. Fun and stop. Fun. Um, Meaningful, um, connected, thriving, and healthy.
Oh, nice. Nice. I really like the healthy one. That's one of the things that people, anyone, younger, less than 30 years old, basically takes their health for granted. So,
Well, I did. I did, and there comes a point sometimes where you have some insights into what potentially could be taken from you. And those are big moments. So yeah, that's a
well,
that's a great question to end on. I love that.
well done, Carly. I know that was a bit stressful for you, but you got all the way through it. And I think your answers were fantastic. So, way to go. This has been really fun. I think we should wrap it up. If anyone would like to meet you and learn more about what you do as a coach, what's the best way for them to reach you?
They can reach me on the website, insidetrackcoaching.com. My email is there, Carly at insidetrackcoaching.com. More than happy to have a coffee conversation, a virtual meeting, get to know anyone. If you're curious about if you want to have an informational interview, which I just gave someone the other day, which was wonderful, I'm open.
Okay. And can they also reach out to you on social media like LinkedIn?
Absolutely. Yes. LinkedIn. Yes, you can find me, Carley Schelck.
Okay. Well, Carly, this has been awesome. I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll be seeing you soon.
I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks, Jim.
Bye, Carly.
Bye bye.